Hello everyone, and welcome to your Aries New Moon Wishes for April the 15th, 2018. The Aries New Moon Sign readings, of course, are all about the equinox energy. So whether you're in the Southern Hemisphere and this is your harvest season, or this is the vernal equinox for you, the spring equinox in the Northern Hemisphere that is initiating your new year energy, what you're planting, what you're sowing at this particular time. It's a very auspicious moment. So I wanted to take a moment to let you know some of the things that Great Mother has been seeding in and through me to and for you. These new moon wishes, I am taking the time to actually write out suggested new moon wishes for you. If you're not familiar with working with new moon energies or how to work with them, it's basically really being clear about what your intentions are, writing them out, no more than 10, and you want to be sure that they're individual wishes. So for example, you want to go out and have more fun, and you want to make more friends, as an example. Those are two wishes, and they need to be separate. So I want to go out and have fun is one wish, and I want to make new friends is the second wish. Not sure exactly why it doesn't work when they're combined. It may have something to do with dictating how we want our blessings to come to us, which really does stagnate the manifestation process. The other thing that you want to keep in mind when you work with your new moon wishes is that they are just for you. We don't make wishes for other people. Again, imposing our will in that space of creation is an energy that we really want to avoid because it attracts that energy to us. So to maintain our autonomous divinity in a way that is pure, in a way that is clearly channeled, we want to keep that wish for us, for ourselves, those wishes just for us. We can introduce the process to others at any time. And you want to just write them down, not meditate on them, but do put them away so that you can later reflect on them as your lunar cycles progress. You can come back and reflect on what has manifested. You'll begin to be very astonished by how quickly things do come into manifestation working with your new moon wishes. And so you won't have to look back at it very often. What you will discover is that things that do not manifest will probably be because they were somehow combined, or they are very core issues that you're working with and working through. So those are just some hints. I'll give you some more kind of rules of the road in terms of working with that. As Jane Spiller says, I'm one of her students working with lunar energies, and so that will be on your link to the blog on greatmotherspeaks.info. Suggested new moon wishes for your moon sign. Speaking of the vlog, this new lunar year for Aries moon sign people, your video has already been posted, and so it talks about for each of you when your new moon comes each year, what Great Mother is coming through and saying will be some of your challenges and all of the energy that's available for you to actually feel the support of your divinity throughout the year. And so it's a very interesting look at how to plan for the year coming up. This is what you've probably heard me refer to as when the sun is in your moon sign. This happens once a year when the sun is traveling through your moon sign's constellation, and when the moon, it becomes new in that sign, is your lunar new year. Again, we all have our own houses, our own degrees of when our moon came in. You may not have been born during the new moon in Aries, obviously. You could be born in November, and your moon was a full moon. Well, if it was a full moon, it was in September, for example, because that is the Aries full moon. And so your Aries moon might actually be there. And so that's where the personal readings come into play. These are general readings about the general energies. So remember to book at greatmotherspeaks.info. And speaking of that, this month until the 30th, there is a sale on readings. All our readings, Great Mother Speaks readings, your moon sign readings that are normally $85, and the hour readings that are normally $65, Great Mother Speaks readings, they're all $50. So that is an encouragement to really get some information about this very auspicious season to help you kind of jumpstart the year for you in terms of planning this planting season. The moon is really, really important with regard to planting and harvesting. Want to be sure that you also know that the Mama Drama Trauma website is finally up. So mamadramatrauma.info is up and ready to go. I want to let you know about the support group. This is a group that is using the Great Mother Speaks Oracle deck as a coaching tool to really support the general welfare of survivors of Mama Drama Trauma. In my coaching work, I have found that supplemental support throughout the week is very useful, and in joining a group in kind of the pilot experiments that I've had so far has really proved quite powerful. So it's very limited, small group, and so I think 5 is the maximum that we're just starting out with because we do really work through some of the principles and share ourselves anonymously through audio conferencing. So it's an opportunity for you at mamadramatrauma.info, which is the sister site to Great Mother Speaks.info, both of which are on the home site of themotherbond.com. So if you're just generally kind of rolled up on Great Mother Speaks and you're like, what the heck is going on? Check out themotherbond.com. It's just a general overview of what we're talking about in terms of maternal yin, Holy Spirit energy, and how it manifests as the good, bad, and divine mother in each and every one of us in each and every way. And to get a little bit more understanding about how to work with this energy and insight about just really how we experience that energy and why we experience it in the various ways that we do. Those are just really getting started up. But want to let you know about that. And last but not least, these new moon readings that you're watching are readings that are basically going to amplify, enhance, really refine and focus your understanding of what Great Mother's messages were throughout the second quarter readings. Now, we just had our second quarter readings posted for April to June. So the general 3-month period, we have 4 through the year. We did January to March, the first quarter, just overall what's going on during those lunar cycles. Now just posted are the second quarter readings that are all about what's happening up until June. Now we have a respite the second quarter from eclipses. We are still in Leo North Node, Aquarius South Node in the Western, and Cancer North Node or Rahu, and Ketu Capricorn in the Sidereal. But we are having some reprieve. No activity going on until the end of July, which will be the third quarter. So this reflection period is really important when I come in with these shorter messages, new moon, full moon messages, April, May, and June, to further refine your understanding and expand on what she was saying. However, if you have not watched those videos or you picked up something that you think that you want to go back and reflect on, again, the link is below to your second quarter readings. Well, I really, really do hope that you enjoy them. Remember, the second quarter readings do have a 25-minute introduction for people to understand what these readings are about, who Great Mother is speaking to, and how to use these readings to know the difference between your emotional voice and when Great Mother is speaking to you. So we took some time on those second quarter readings to do that. So if you've already listened to that, remember, fast forward to about 27 minutes at the beginning of your second quarter reading. So with no further ado, here from me to you are your April 15th Aries new moon readings from Great Mother Speaks. Virgo, Libra moon people, this is your dispensation period. Your full moon was March 30th. So you might want to take a look at the second quarter readings because they begin with the March full moon in Libra. The full moon, when your moon sign is in its full moon, that is the culmination of your entire emotional, intuitive state for the year. So your new moon in Libra, of course, was back in October, and you have had some real deep downloads from the beginning of November all the way into December. And as a result of the downloads that you were receiving, either you responded to them and acted on them and went a particular direction, or you were not able to pull them up, you weren't in touch with yourself, or you were and you decided not to, you went another path. I want you to just take a moment and kind of think about which path you went. You know, did you align or not since your new moon in Libra until now? Because now is the dispensation. The dispensation is what happens as a result of the illumination that came forward during the full moon in March. And so look at your second quarter Libra report, which is going to talk about April through June, which is a real pivotal period for you, because what Great Mother is saying has come into culmination and illumination for you is now being disseminated emotionally as a real clear awareness of what is real and what is not in your life right now. You have up to this point thought that something was one way, a situation or relationship, and now you realize it's another. So you are seeing past the illusion of what you thought it was before. The transformative opportunity in this is that on an emotional level, Great Mother is saying you need to have compassion for yourself. And so because this is seventh house energy, this could actually be dealing with a marriage, be it a personal marriage or a business contract of some kind. There is a sense of disappointment and self-blame here. So Great Mother is saying to have compassion for yourself. When we know better, we do better. You didn't know somehow. And the opportunity is to, as this crescent moon in the heart chakra card indicates, is to plant new seed based on this compassion for yourself. You know, many times when we are blaming ourselves for something, it keeps us from seeing the blessing that's available for us. And so you do see the truth now. You didn't know it before, but you do know it now. That's a blessing. I mean, can you imagine continuing on without that insight? Just think for a moment, you know, what that would be like. You know, some people say ignorance is bliss, but you don't have that luxury at this particular time with this seventh house energy and with this full moon illumination. It's just really right in your face. And so Great Mother is saying, have compassion for yourself, because what she doesn't want you to overlook is the fact that you're beating up yourself, and to stop. Okay, this is not productive. This does not put you in alignment with your divinity. This keeps you in a state of self-condemnation and judgment, and therefore a feeling of isolation and alienation that goes right against the three principles that we talk about in the introduction of that second quarter reading. That tells us that the basis of these readings are the principles of divinity, understanding that awareness is where our power comes from, of who we are. And we are divine children of the Great Mother, Father, God, who are dearly loved, never judged or condemned or left alone. So stop it now. In fact, Mother Mary is at the center of your reading. She's telling you, Virgo, Libra moon people, that it's time to really act on what you know. And you know the truth, and so go ahead and act on it. That's a double yang symbol. So it's not just acting on it, it's acting on what you know to be the truth and to fulfill the action that you know that needs to be taken. So whatever action needs to be taken as a result of this newfound awareness, this insight, is what needs to happen. And Great Mother is saying is what's preventing you from doing that perhaps is this beating yourself up, indicated by the self-inquiry card. The self-inquiry card is the Earth Father card that is typically all about discipline. That's what the Earth Father does. He is the physical manifestation of Great Father energy, the light, that full moon light that shines the truth on things and tells us the law, the logos, the word. And when it's out of balance, and we see that with the double yang card, that what is needed to bring this internal self-judgment and condemnation into balance is a self-inquiry. Stop it at the door. Is it true that, I'm numbnuts because I didn't know this? If that's a self-judgment that is attacking you. Is it true that as a result of this, I'm not worthy of having a good relationship, of owning a business? I made a mistake. I connected with people who weren't trustworthy, or with a person who wasn't trustworthy, or I didn't take care of my health in some way. My sense of self-care wasn't where it needed to be, particularly as a result of people pleasing, okay, or being overly aggressive, okay. These are yin-yang issues that are unique for each of us. These are general readings. For a personal reading, your moon sign might actually be in your 8th or 9th house as opposed to 1st house, which is what these general readings are done by. And so therefore, the Aries energy for you might be in your 3rd house or your 6th house, okay. But 7th house general energy is about personal, professional relationship. 7th house energies from Great Mother saying to act on it is to actually act on what you needs to happen. So as a result of the dispensation of this truth coming through for you, seeing past the illusion, does there need to be a dissolution of the business, a dissolution of the relationship? Or if you don't need to go that far, then really stay in tune with what's going on with you, because in your shadow position is Akhenaten. And Akhenaten is the first ruler of the planet to institute the worship of the one God. Human beings were polytheistic up to that point. And we have gods and goddesses in the deck, just as we are gods and goddesses, but we are not to be worshipped. We are to be adored by the Great Mother, Father, God, and each other. But to have a one God connects us to the law of mystery and divine order, which is a recognition that our physical manifestation of that divinity is a mystery, how and why it occurs. Astrology does give us a key into the actual blueprint of our karmic makeup and the spiritual anatomy of the soul in physical form, but it does not tell us what we need to know in each situation, does it? And so that's in your shadow position. You really wanting to know why. You really wanting to know how this came about. How could you have not seen this? Or how could, this have happened to me? And that sort of thing. And when Akhenaten comes up with that yang symbol, we have a lot of masculine energy in this reading for you, Virgo, Libra, Moon people. It's telling you that just let that go. It's in the 3rd quarter moon card, yang card. And so that's what needs to be acted on. Just within yourself. Okay, this is shadow position. Within yourself, let that go. Let that kind of self-inquiry, that kind of condemning self-inquiry that is looking for a justification go. Because the justification isn't what it's about, is it? It's about clarification. You need clarity, so that this pattern is not repeated. And the question as to why this happened would answer the question of clarity only if that's the focus. And it's not blame, or specifically with Great Mother saying blaming yourself. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want to really own up to the difficulty that this is and the hurt that this is for you, and to surrender to what this means for you. A lot of times we can get caught up into anger, we can get caught up in self-blame, and the reason these things are not good for us, again, it's not because of judgment and condemnation. You shouldn't do that, but it's because it doesn't serve our divinity. It doesn't serve us, who we are. What serves us is being able to surrender to the situation, as we see Dorothy here in the poppy field scene. In the poppy field, Dorothy and the 3 are almost at the edge of the castle when the Wicked Witch of the East opens up the poppies, the opiate, and Dorothy and Toto promptly fall out. The lion does too. So surrendering has to do with giving up the ghost, just giving up, the striving to going towards the goal. Yes, she wanted to go there. Yes, she was going to get there. But sometimes things happen and we don't know why, but they happen. And they never knew what happened. All we know is that Scarecrow, who symbolizes the brain, and the Tin Man, who symbolizes the heart, cried out for help. First quarter moon card, taking action based on a decision to face a challenge. So face the challenge by asking for the help that you need, allowing yourself to receive it, and just going forward. That is really what is going to allow you to be reborn anew through this experience. This experience is offering you an opportunity to resurrect yourself from a past life, from a past pattern, a past way of being that no longer serves you. The Osiris-Horus card, in fact, is the card in which Dorothy douses the Wicked Witch with the water and she dissolves. So this dispensation for you is all about the final release, the final letting go based on the illumination that you've had. And by accepting the blessing of this illumination, you are allowing new light, new clarification to come through, and the dissolution of something that no longer serves you. The dissolution of something that was an impediment to you realizing and experiencing your birthright to be happy, healthy, and whole. In fact, you can release whatever needs to be sacrificed in your life in order for you to really maintain the self-compassion that you need to honor what you know now. You know, once something's been seen, it can't be unseen. Once something's been experienced, it can't be experienced. And this is very important because this is new moon energy and the new moon card. So you have seen something, you have a higher insight in it, and the evolutionary opportunity is to develop the self-compassion that you need to allow the rebirthing process to take place. This rebirthing process for you, just like with Dorothy, is going to let go of something of value in order for you to receive something of greater value. That is, in fact, the definition of sacrifice. What's going to facilitate this process is owning your rebirth process. Own it. Consciously let that into your heart and into your mind. This is a fifth chakra card at the top of the balsamic moon. Here we see the throat chakra. And the throat chakra is the Osiris-Horus card during the actual act of sacrificing the witch. The rebirth card is the card over the suit, and it's a balsamic moon card that is a download card right under self-inquiry. So as you are questioning those judgments and those condemning thoughts and those painful beliefs that keep you in a state of rapture and guilt, allow the rebirthing to come through as a result of the downloads that you're receiving. You're receiving downloads about how you now should express yourself, how you now should align with the truth within yourself. You are getting insights about that. You're getting insights to be more aware of how you should discipline yourself in loving ways to reinvent yourself. Okay, modify the pattern. Recognize what the pattern is. Was the pattern to be a little bit too, again, aggressive with people and therefore not really have heard what they had to say, and that's why things were overlooked, or a little bit too people-pleasing? And that was the reason why your needs were overlooked, and now you see the truth of the situation and that you do have needs and they do need to be fulfilled. That's kind of the continuum that we have with 7th house energy, which is where Aries new moon is for you. The outcome of your reading is that you will truly realize that the law of soul guidance and guardianship is fully active for you. You will realize through this process of self-compassion, of resurrection, and of owning what you know, even though it's quite mysterious to you in many ways, that you are being guided, you are being protected, and this is a process that your soul has needed to go through, and you are facilitating that process through your free will. Thank you so much for watching, sharing, and liking, but above all and most of all, remember, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.